it's happening in New York, New Jersey, or Long Island, hear about it with Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.
It's party time. Mike Gallagher here. Mike Gallagher, is this not icing on the cake?
What's going on? We having a party here? What's going on?
Non-stop action on the Piscopo show.
Aidala here. It's a party.
No, I'm telling you. Now, what do you think? Before we do anything, 8:36, and Mike's going to give you a preview of what he's talking about. 10 o'clock, this great broadcaster sitting right next to me right now. And we're online on YouTube and on Facebook. My Pillow, Mr. My Pillow, Mr. Mike Lindell.
Mike Lindell.
How great is this guy?
The best. He's the best. Is there anybody better? Maybe you. That's it.
No. I'm telling you. And then you sell on your show so many pills because you use the promo code AM970 because you throw some to us.
Mike G. Promo code Mike G.
If you're listening, please, AM970 is the code at mypillow.com.
Now I'm going to get yelled at by Jerry Crowley.
Yeah,
AM970. AM970 until 9.
Thank you.
Until 10. Mike G after 10.
Fair enough. A special offer from Mr. Mike Lindell, and he takes this very seriously. When he talks comes in with us, and Al and I had to sit down how he invented the Mike Pillow.
Amazing story.
He went through the whole thing, man.
Yep.
And
he was an addict when he invented the pillow, and he admits that freely. He'll say, "Listen, I was at rock bottom. I lost everything. Lost my world." He pulls himself out of addiction, finds God. Never appears in public without his cross around his neck. He's been sober for many, many years, and he's got he only cranks out 80,000 pillows a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stays politically. Carol, Mike Lindell is the inventor of My Pillow. Great, he's a great guy.
I have a My Pillow.
There you go.
Carol knows.
But he knows, and he goes and he invented this, and he's very true to his faith and true to his politics. And then everybody goes against him and says, well, you're too this, you're too that. My Pillow spiked 30% this last month.
He gets targeted, as so many businesses do. He says, you know what? I advertise where the eyes are and where the ears are, so I'm going to stay with Fox News in the midst of all these, and he's on MSNBC, and he's on CNN, and he's on AM 970, The Answer. He's everywhere.
And he loves you, Mike Gallagher.
He loves you. I mean, there's a picture of Joe Piscopo and Mike Lindell in their corporate headquarters in Minnesota at a ball game. You guys were where was that?
Yeah, it was at the St. Paul Saints game. We broke the Guinness Book of Records because we wanted to do the world's largest pillow fight.
Right, that's right.
Stephen Baldwin directed it. We saw Stephen last night, Carol.
Yes, we did. Trying to sneak by us with his glasses on and his head down. I was like, are you trying to sneak by us?
Mike Lindell's got this for you, listening exclusively to AM 970 The Answer. 50% off the My Pillow 4-pack, which includes 2 premium pillows and 2 Go Anywhere pillows. 50% off. Go to mypillow.com, or you can call 800-651-0798, or go to mypillow.com. Promo code up to 9 o'clock is AM.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. AM 970. Thank you, Mike.
For the best light sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
Beautiful. Sung by Mike Gallagher. Unbelievable.
Joe Walsh. Coming up tonight at 9 on AM 970. The Answer.
Live from the Smart Way to Buy.com studios.
Well, so Mike Gallagher came in only because Carol Alt is here and Arthur Aidala.
No, it was Arthur, actually. No disrespect, Miss Alt.
Joe, you understand, Mike and I have a bond.
We do.
Yeah. In high school, in my sophomore year, I sang Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat from Guys and Dolls.
I remember
that. Can we hear a few bars? Come on,
I dreamed last night I got on the boat to heaven, and by some chance I had brought my dice along, and there I stood.
And I
Carol, you had to ask.
He needed no prompting, Joe. Come on, he was fighting at the bit to do that.
He came like, you got to come to Dallas and see me, see if I live up to your...
Sit down. Sit down, you're rocking the boat. Sit down, people.
You did this?
I got a standing ovation in
high
school.
Carol,
you do the number right.
Mike is going to Texas and doing a weekend, doing a few shows. He does these Broadway shows. He's actually quite good at it.
Okay.
And he does South Carolina. You're going to Texas. What
Dallas, Texas, a beautiful theater in downtown.
This is the number you're doing.
What are the? Yeah, I'm going to play nicely in this big production. 40-piece orchestra.
Perfect was that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I played it a couple years ago, and it's a great part, nicely sings Guys and Dolls.
Sing a lot of great songs.
The Feud for Tin Horns at the very beginning. I got the horse right here.
His name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says it.
Al, we've lost complete control.
Can do. Yeah, and you'll be my understudy. You can be my alternate. You go on every other show. He's ready.
Arthur, I dare you in front of a federal judge to break into that song.
Listen, there are scenes from me that are right now, if you go to CBSNews.com, from 48 hours, just three 4 weeks ago, in my last summation, I sang.
No, you did
the
not.
song from Grease, "Summer Lovin'," had me a blast.
I saw that on 48 Hours.
You did.
I did.
That was me.
What, to the jury you were singing?
I sang it to the
He
jury
sang it to the jury in his summation.
Because the whole thing happened in the summer, and then it ended, and that was part of my whole theme, was that it was only a summer fling. I said, you guys remember Grease? Summer lovin' had me a blast. And of course, in my hour-and-a-half summation, that's what they put on 48 Hours.
This is great. And Michael, at $1,000 an hour.
That's right.
That's so bad.
Hey, don't cut my rates. Don't cut my rates.
That's $250 a half
Don't
note.
cut my rates.
You know? I mean, wow. Music solves everything, though, guys. I mean,
It's so
I want to
true.
know, did you win?
Well, it's a matter of interpretation.
I think that's a no.
How could they not root for
But, Mike, what you just said, music solves everything. My mother was a New York City public school teacher for 40 years, and primarily she did early childhood education.
Hi,
pre-K and
Mary Ann. We
kindergarten.
love Mary Ann.
It was all about music.
Yeah.
She always
I
had
love it.
music. She taught them the colors with music. She taught them their eyes, ears, nose, and then
what
it
is
was all
it?
about
What is the
music.
date? Because
June 8th through the 11th.
you're doing the
Dallas.
words now. You're learning everything.
Not yet. No. I mean, there's 2.5 weeks of rehearsal, so I'm going to be there from mid-May to mid-June.
You taking off the show to rehearse?
No, I'll do the show. The network is actually headquartered in Dallas, so it kind of works. I'll work out of the network studios. Just
It's your old stomping grounds, man.
Yeah, my kids are there. My second oldest son and my granddaughter. So, and Arthur is right about the power of music. And Joe, nobody knows it better than you do.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
it's just same with my family. A little boy, my mom and dad dragged me to shows and concerts, and I just developed a love of theater and musical theater. Yeah, funny story about uniting people too. Years ago, AM 970 had a billboard right in the theater district, and they had a big picture of my fat face, and it was like fighting liberal lunacy or something. So you knew I was a conservative. And a friend of mine was in a Broadway show. I'm not going to mention the show. And an older, very distinguished actress who's been a Broadway legend for years. She looks up and she says, "Look at that guy, the conservative. Who he thinks he is?" And the friend turns to her and says, "Well, actually, he's a great advocate for theater. He's an equity actor, and he loves our show. He's been to our show a lot, and he actually invested in our show." She switched and she said, "I'd love to meet him. He sounds like a very interesting young man."
Just like an actor,
just
right?
Just like that, an actor. Oh, well, if he's supporting our industry, but it kind of united them. It was like and little did she know what a big conservative he was, because he didn't tell
Mike,
me.
I have to go here. Forgive me, Carol. I tell you, you really, and with respect, one of the world's most beautiful women.
Indeed.
And Mike is personal friends with Melania Trump. So
Please.
personal friend. Matter of fact,
That's stalker.
That was before she was with the
matter of
president.
fact, you're beating up a little bit.
Yeah,
next to Carol.
Personal friends. I mean,
But
she's got a restraining order.
I was thinking, as with Carol, as grounded as she is, Melania's got that same quality. She's very, very grounded. Yeah. Why isn't she, for example, on? And they always say, why isn't she on magazines everywhere? And out front, and the state dinner she's doing with Macron tonight, she deserves much more credit, I think, than she's getting. No,
and she was criticized even after going to Barbara Bush's funeral, and there were some kind of smarmy comments. Listen, this is a very volatile time, and we all know it. There's a lot of people who are, look at the Kanye West thing right now with this Candace Owens, and Kanye dares to say some supportive things of the sitting president of the United States, and they're blasting him. Yeah. It's like so many strange things are happening around the country. We're going to dive into it. This awful terrorist attack yesterday in Toronto.
Do they know that it's terrorist attack?
Well, it's you run over 9 people, 10 people with a car, whether it's domestic, whether it's, I don't know that there's any indication that it was Islamic terrorism, but certainly, and the working theory is somebody who's mentally ill. But the mayor of Toronto immediately holds a press conference and wants to reassure everybody that we're the center of inclusiveness. And you hear that and you think, wait a minute, why would you go there after your city is reeling from such an awful inclusiveness? Yeah. What does inclusiveness have to do with anything? Yeah, and none of those families who have to bury these people are worried about inclusiveness right now.
True. And Mike, are you going to touch on, I want to ask Arthur about it before we get out of here in the 9 o'clock hour, 8:45 with Joe on the radio with Carol Alton, Mike Gallagher, Arthur here, Frankie and Alla here as well. Michael Cohen, I sat next to Michael Cohen, just a nice guy. One of the events like we went to at Carol last night. I'm sitting and we're talking to this guy. Then all of a sudden they go after him. And Arthur, what about the civil rights? We're losing complete sight of that. Now did they pressure General Flynn? They pressure Michael Cohen to a point where they want to quote unquote flip. Is that where they're going with all this?
Well, that's definitely where they're going. What I hope is, and I'm an eternal optimist, I hope there's nothing to flip on. In other words,
no reason
the government only wants to talk to you if you have valuable information about criminal acts that have taken place.
Yeah.
So my first instinct is, well, I hope there is no criminal acts that took place. Michael Cohen, I know him personally, not well, but I've been in his company several times. I've spoken to him on the phone many, many times. He's Donald Trump's personal attorney. So, hypothetically, when Donald Trump has a new driver, he makes him sign a confidentiality agreement. When Donald Trump is buying a new deal, he does, certain aspects of things for him. Michael Gallagher, I really hope that Donald Trump did everything legally, and there is nothing to flip on.
I have to believe that the fiercest President Trump critic is able to sit back and say, this whole investigation began with the path to find out if there was collusion with the Russians to meddle or tamper with our election. There hasn't been one shred of evidence to back that. Now we've gone into all these different directions, but that the whole point of the special counsel was to determine and incidentally, as somebody who wants the president to succeed, I'd be the first one to say, if the Russians and the Trump campaign meddled with the election and impacted our democracy, throw the book at everybody you can. We don't want that in this country. Nobody expects that. Nobody.
So what's happened with the general counsel is it's gone too expansive. And I will tell you, Justice Antonin Scalia always said he hated the special counsel rule.
This is why.
Because you're not supposed to appoint a prosecutor. And not to make this a Democrat-Republican thing, it was the same thing with Whitewater. That was garbage. That went too far astray. Ken Starr overstepped his bounds.
It's a good analogy, Arthur.
And Mueller's overstepping his bounds.
It's fair.
It's bad for America.
When you see a liberal Democrat like Alan Dershowitz constantly talk about the rule of law, follow the rule of law, and he's now being bashed by the left because he's objective, it seems.
Speaking of music, he requested, Professor Dershowitz, we met at Geraldo's party. We went over there. We were thinking he's going to ask me some legal question or how I should...
He wanted you to do New York, New York.
Yeah. No, my way.
My way, of course, or my way.
Well, which I'm doing, which I never do.
You never do. That's the old man.
But I'm doing it for Avi Dershowitz.
Right.
Mike Gallagher's got to go 8:48.
Great to meet you, Carol.
Nice to meet
Great
you,
seeing
Mike.
you, Counselor.
You're the best.
Happy
Nicely,
Tuesday,
nice.
Always
everybody.
great having you with us, Mike Gallagher.
How you doing? Nicely.
Nicely. Thank
Lord,
you.
Mike, we have a great show, man. We'll be listening. 10 o'clock, Mike Gallagher on AM 970, The Answer, and around these fine United States of America.
Everybody knows this guy. No, everybody knows he can do a radio show. Joe Piscopo. Mornings, 6 to 10 on AM 970. The Answer.